What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? How are we doing out here today on this beautiful Friday morning, ladies and gentlemen? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're gonna have a good fun-filled show for you guys today. We're talking everything DeAndre Hopkins, ladies and gentlemen. And believe it or not, there's some people out there, some insiders that truly feel that DeAndre Hopkins can be traded as soon as before the NFL new league year starts, which is going to be coming up here pretty soon in March the 15th. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about here today, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate everybody in the chat. If you guys haven't done so already, definitely do me a huge favor. Smack the like button on this video. If this is your first time here, subscribe to the Arizona Sports Fan here on YouTube on the road to 12K, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that just kind of hovers around, and doesn't subscribe. Subscribe it up, join the family. It's absolutely for free, where we just have a lot of Cardinal fans here, and, hopefully the best. We're wishing and wanting the best for our team, but just don't have the best of luck, right? So appreciate everybody for tuning in. I want to go ahead and just talk real quick about Jalen Carter. I know we made a live stream about Jalen Carter a couple days back, talking about what ended up happening. Now, it's a crazy story, right? I don't know what the extent of this whole Jalen Carter thing is going to happen, but what we do know is this. Jalen Carter did go back to where the warrant for his arrest was, and he was booked, and a few hours went by, and he actually posted bail. So he ended up finding himself back in the combine, and supporting the other defensive linemen that were there. So he's still back in the combine right now, which is completely okay, right? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Now, obviously, a lot of people want to put their own 2 cents in the whole situation. There was concern issues with Jalen Carter's character before. Now, this obviously doesn't help him at all. But now we're kind of finding ourselves in a really, really, really weird situation where we don't know if he's going to go top 5. He still might, right? He still might go top 5. I know there's going to be a lot of teams that are really going to look deep into Jalen Carter as a person, because as a player, we know he's a beast. We know he's an absolute great prospect coming out of the NFL. But if he's not going to give the team his all, right, because there's a lot of character issues that are going to be in the way, that can very well dissuade some teams from picking him up very, very high. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. What we do know is that he went in, he posted bail a few hours later, and he found himself back in the combine. What's going to happen? We'll kind of have to wait and see. It's TBD at this very moment, but there's still some people out there that feel like he's still going to be a top 10 prospect, top 15, a first round prospect. So at this very moment, it's TBD. But let's talk about one of our own, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk about DeAndre Hopkins, right? I want to talk about the elephant in the room. Now, we did post a video yesterday pertaining to, right, there is some kind of concerns coming with our number one wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. This topic has been a topic that we've been talking about, at least on this channel, for more than 2 months, I feel like. Like, we've been talking about this specific topic since the end of this last regular season. There was already rumblings, there was already concerns about the possibility that DeAndre Hopkins does not want to go through a rebuild. Now, of course, because of where we are at right now, right, with getting rid of our GM, right, getting rid of our head coach, bringing in a brand new staff, a lot of people seem to believe that this new culture that is coming in, this new rebuild that is coming in, won't fit not so much not fit the persona, but it won't fit the plans of what DeAndre Hopkins wants, right? And I think that's going to be what the big storyline that we have kind of coming into this whole next season, right? Is DeAndre Hopkins want to wait a couple years before we're back into contention? Because let's be honest here, right, ladies and gentlemen, the Arizona Cardinals, or I'm sorry, the NFL is not like the MLB. You can rebuild in 1 year. If you do it right, you can rebuild in 1 year, right? Now, it might take teams like the Arizona Cardinals 2 to 3 years to completely rebuild and go back in for that, go back to the Lombardi, right? Or sorry, go back for the Lombardi, or try to go for the Lombardi, or try to go to the playoffs, that type of thing, right? There's organizations there that usually take 1 year to rebuild. And there's some people that don't believe that the Arizona Cardinals and DeAndre Hopkins have the same vision. Now, we have heard from the Arizona Cardinals that they have spoken to DeAndre Hopkins pertaining to, just kind of keeping him in the loop and telling him what the plans are. Now, they've been very specific in saying things like, we have not talked about the future, right? They've been very specific about that. But if you really think about it here, ladies and gentlemen, the Arizona Cardinals and the NFL is starting a brand new league year within the next 2 weeks. In March the 15th, it starts the brand new league year for the NFL, for DeAndre Hopkins and the Arizona Cardinals and everybody, right? Now, there's some people out there that believe that DeAndre Hopkins will get traded before that. That's insane. Now, do I believe it? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I believe it. 100%. We were talking about this whole situation before most people were talking about it. We were talking about it here on this channel saying DeAndre Hopkins, I'm not sure if he wants to go through a rebuild, right? Now, the idea of getting rid of DeAndre Hopkins, yes, it hurts. It sucks, right? It sucks for a couple different reasons. It sucks because he's probably one of the best wide receivers in the NFL right now. Even at the age of 30, he's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. That's one of the reasons why it sucks. Second reason is that we couldn't do anything with DeAndre Hopkins. We couldn't. We made one playoff run, and we got demolished by the Rams. Now, granted, yes, we probably weren't the healthiest. Yes, probably we weren't in a situation where we probably should have been there, right? But we didn't do anything with DeAndre Hopkins at all. And that's very unfortunate. One of the best wide receivers in the NFL. And we couldn't do a darn thing with him. It sucks. Now, Kyler Murray is better with DeAndre Hopkins than without DeAndre Hopkins, right? I think we all know that. If you look at the stats, if you look at the records, Kyler Murray completely benefits from having DHOP there. Completely does. And I don't think anybody can argue otherwise. Kyler Murray completely benefits from having DHOP there. But I think we got to look at this on the other side of it all. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it hurts emotionally, right? Yes, it sucks that we couldn't do anything with this DeAndre Hopkins great weapon that we had. But being that where we are at right now as an Arizona Cardinal organization, this is the move that should be done, right? Now, in this last trade deadline, there was people out there saying that the Arizona Cardinals should be sellers, not buyers. We should not be doing anything. We should be sellers. And of course, there was Cardinal fans that came out and saying, what are you talking about? Get rid of this person, why would we do that? Because people automatically knew that we weren't going to do anything this year, right? But now we're finding ourselves here in this situation. We're a 4-win team in 2022. We're trying to rebuild in 2023. And what is the biggest asset? What is the biggest weapon we have? One of the biggest names we have on our roster? DeAndre Hopkins. And like I said a little earlier, and it's not just a DeAndre Hopkins situation, right? Like he wants to leave. It benefits the Cardinals too. At one point, DeAndre Hopkins had a no trade clause. At one point, yes, he did. But because of the PED suspension, that seemed to be voided, right? And that was reported by CBS Sports. So this can very well benefit the Arizona Cardinals. But here's the question, right? What is the trade value? What's the trade value for here the Arizona Cardinals moving forward? What's the trade value? Now, at one point, right, putting my Arizona Cardinal hat on, I went out and said that I would want a first-round pick, right? That's what I want as an Arizona Cardinal fan, because we've seen Marquise Hollywood Brown get for a first-round pick. We got A.J. Brown getting traded for a first-round pick. A big thing there is that when they did get traded, right, they were younger than DeAndre Hopkins. So I think more realistically, if the Arizona Cardinals truly were to trade DeAndre Hopkins, I think it's going to depend, right, on what team we're sending him to. A first round is obviously ideal, right? I think we would all fall in love with the idea of possibly getting another first round pick in the 2023 stacked class that we were seeing, right? That the combine is happening this week. So I think a lot of us would love the idea for the Arizona Cardinals to get a first round pick. But now, really thinking about it, realistically, it probably would be hard for the Arizona Cardinals to land a first round pick for a couple reasons: age and contract. Age and contract. Although, yes, I would want a first round pick for DeAndre Hopkins. I think realistically, it would probably be hard. But there might be a team late in the first round pick that might give it to us, right? Might give it to us. The Kansas City Chiefs being one of them. They're sitting with what, the 31st or the 32nd overall pick in the NFL draft. And the only reason why I'm saying 31 or 32nd is because Miami Dolphins forfeited their first round pick. So it's kind of, it's kind of one of those weird situations years where there's not 32 picks in this draft, right? There's 31 picks in the first round because of the Miami Dolphins forfeiting their first round pick. So there might be a team in the first round that can very well give us a first rounder, maybe the Kansas City Chiefs. But I think more realistically, we're probably looking at a second rounder. Now, I would love a very high second rounder. I think that would be very, very ideal. Now, I remember putting a tweet probably about, like I said, we were talking about this for more than a month and a half now, but before people started talking about this, that we were talking about this for a bit. I said that the Chicago Bears might be a team to look out for. Now, granted, at that very moment where I messed up on my specific tweet, I said that we could possibly get their first overall pick. That's not going to happen, right? That's fool's gold. It is. I wasn't very specific. It's fool's gold to think that the Chicago Bears will give us their first overall pick for an aging wide receiver, although still has it, but has a big contract. What? Right? But if the Chicago Bears do decide to get a DeAndre Hopkins, I think a second round pick can seem very, very nice for the Arizona Cardinals. They're the second round pick here that they're going to be having, right? Because they should have a second round pick. Oh, they don't. They don't. Okay. So the Chicago Bears don't have a second round pick, ladies, or at least they don't have the top one that I thought they do. They have the 54th overall pick in the NFL draft. That's their second rounder. They don't have the 30. So that changes it. But the Chicago Bears might be a team to look out for. Now, granted, yes, they have the 54th overall pick, but I still do think that if you get that pick, we could probably double down on two second round picks, maybe this year's and maybe next year's, maybe, right? A lot of up in the air. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, I feel like that would be a dream made in heaven for DeAndre Hopkins, especially if he's going to try to go out there and getting a ring, and also a dream made in heaven for Patrick Mahomes. But if you ask a normal Chiefs fan, they're probably not going to say, oh, yeah, we'll give you up your first round pick, right? They're probably going to be like, oh, we're not going to give you a first round pick. That's ridiculous. We don't know. We don't know. But I think the Bears are very intriguing, at least in my mind. I think the Bears are very, very intriguing. We've heard some other teams kind of being thrown out there, right? Like the LA Chargers was a team. There was a report that came out saying that the LA Chargers are thinking about moving off of Keenan Allen. Are they trying to open up more space, or are they trying to put a number one wide receiver in there for DeAndre Hopkins, right? There was another team getting thrown out there, the Jaguars. That seems kind of interesting, right? You still have a very young quarterback over there that's getting paid little to no money, and Trevor Lawrence, maybe sending him over there. And some might even think the Patriots. So a lot of up in the air right now. A lot of up in the air. Let me get to my first contribution here of the day. What's up, No F's Given? He says, now that Nuke is gone, hopefully K1 can step up his game more because his safety net is not here anymore. I wonder who's going to be out next. I wonder who's going to be our next wide receiver one. Well, I mean, right now on the roster, it looks like it's going to be Marquise Hollywood Brown, right? Right now, who's on the roster? It looks like it's Marquise. Now, I don't want Marquise Hollywood Brown to be that number one guy. I don't think he is a number one wide receiver. And B, I don't see it, right? Stature wise, numbers wise, consistency wise, I don't see it for Marquise. A great number two wide receiver that he is. I think he's a very good one. But number one, no. But I agree with you. We might not get a first wide receiver one, right, in this year. Some people are excited about next year, right? Next year's draft and getting that young kid from was it Ohio State, right? Something like that, right? So we might be in that rebuilding stage where we might keep Marquise as the wide receiver 1 for this year and maybe kind of plan something to get a bigger, taller wide receiver into the next year's draft. Something like that, right? Maybe. Or we can maybe get somebody in free agency, which, let's be honest, there's not very many people out there. And I really hope that the Arizona Cardinals can really get the value back from DeAndre Hopkins. Because, A, the draft doesn't seem to be the greatest with the wide receiving prospects, right? The greatest. There's some good ones out there, and I think you can get a gem out there somewhere if you can get really good wide receivers. And then B, free agency. There's not very many good free agents out there. There's not very many good free agents in terms of wide receivers. So I hope that the Arizona Cardinals can definitely do their due diligence and get the best value they possibly can get for DeAndre Hopkins. So like I said a little earlier, first round is what we would all want, right? It's what we would all want. But maybe second round is a little bit more realistic. I'm hoping a high second rounder. Now, I'm going to throw something out there. Here, ladies and gentlemen. And some people might say, why? Why them? But the Browns, the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns seem interesting for a couple, well, I guess for one main reason. Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is the quarterback of the Browns, who had very much success with Deshaun Watson. His guy, DeAndre Hopkins. Now, that might be a reach, right? That might be a reach, but the Browns currently have a second round pick, which is sitting at the 43rd overall spot. They got a third they got a third comp pick at the 99th overall spot. They got a fourth rounder at the 112th overall spot, and obviously they got about like 5 or 6 more. But the Browns might be a potential landing spot for DeAndre Hopkins because of the link with Deshaun Watson. Now, would you really want to go to the Browns? Probably not, right? Like, let's be honest here. I don't think anybody really wants to go to the Browns. But the connection between the two seems to be pretty cool, right? But if you're really trying to go ring chasing, right? If DeAndre Hopkins wants to go ring chasing, obviously there's one real kind of answer out there, and that's with one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, and that's Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And some reporters actually feel like the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be a real suitor for DeAndre Hopkins. Now, because of the no trade clause, the Arizona Cardinals are sitting at the top of this at this very moment. We're looking for the best suitors. Now, I do feel like the Arizona Cardinals are going to ask DeAndre Hopkins on where he wants to go to. I don't think they're just going to go ahead and up and move him around and be like, okay, peace out, good luck, but it's all you, right? I don't think that's the situation. But I do believe that the Arizona Cardinals are in the best case situation right now because of that no trade clause being waived from DeAndre Hopkins. Now, second rounder, right? Let's think of it as maybe the New England Patriots, right? As a Cardinal fan, I would say I want that 14th overall pick, right? We're probably not going to get that 14th overall pick, but maybe their second rounder. They got the 47th overall. They got a 77th overall. They got the 108th overall. They have so many picks this year. The Patriots have 11 picks. The Patriots have 11 picks this year. 11. The Patriots seem that seems possible, and here's the reason why. They've struggled to find a top wide receiver for a very long time. The Patriots have struggled to find a top wide receiver for a very long time. There's rumors and there's reports coming out saying that Jacoby Myers, their maybe potential wide receiver 1, is going to get Christian Kirk money. Oh my goodness. Christian Kirk money. That's crazy. But it's the market, right? It's crazy, but it's the market. So who would you rather have, Jacoby Myers, or would you have DeAndre Hopkins? I think it's a no-brainer there. Even if he's 30 plus and he's going to be 31 mid-season of the 2023 season, that's DeAndre Hopkins in a heartbeat. So a lot of potential landing spots for DeAndre Hopkins. Now, there was a little rumor out there saying that the Tennessee Titans might want him. I truly don't think that DeAndre Hopkins wants to go to the Tennessee Titans because of the quarterback situation. Now, they did come out and say that Ryan Tannehill will be back in 2023. Now, is that going to be starting quarterback, right? That's kind of a question out there, but I don't think he's going to want to go to the Tennessee Titans. Now, granted, the Arizona Cardinals have the upper hand. The Arizona Cardinals have more leverage in this situation because of that no trade clause being waived. So, I mean, it's kind of in our hands at this very moment. But I do think that the Arizona Cardinals are going to ask for his opinion. I don't think they're just going to move him off, but I do think that's best. What's the word? Best package available. Whoever wants to go out there and give it to us. Best package available for the Arizona Cardinals. So, although I think we all would love the idea of a first round pick, probably won't be attainable, but I could definitely see a second round pick. And I'm going to say the Bears. And look at I'm not reporting it. No, I'm not saying it. I'm just giving you my best guesstimation out there. I think the Bears can very well benefit of getting a number one wide receiver. They try to do it with Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool got a second round pick, and he's nowhere near the talent of DeAndre Hopkins. So they might give him a first round pick. I don't know. That's a good question there. The Bears, I still think it's very, very possible. The New England Patriots, the Cleveland Browns, because of the connection with Deshaun Watson, although I get it. Nobody wants to go to the Browns. I get it. The Kansas City Chiefs, the LA Chargers, the Jaguars, and the Baltimore Ravens. So if I feel like I just gave up like 6 teams right there that we could possibly trade DeAndre Hopkins to that can very well benefit from getting a number one wide receiver back their way. And what do they need to give to us? If I was the GM, if I was Monty Ossenfort, I would still try to push for a first round pick. And I would use the comps of AJ Brown, and I would use the comps of Marquise Hollywood Brown, although we're the ones that did it, right? And it might not come back in our favor, but hey, let's leave it open. Let's leave it open for interpretation, and let's see what they say. But a second round pick, especially a high one, is exactly something that I would love for the Cardinals to do. Let's get to the super chat. What's up, Hector? He says, it would make sense. Let's start rebuilding the trenches and have more youth in the roster. Hate to see him leave, but we need draft capital. Exactly. Right? I actually got a comment, I believe on my video I posted yesterday, and they were saying like, oh, you were just excited about DeAndre Hopkins and now you're sad. The idea of being both is okay. At least the way I like to look at it. Seeing DeAndre Hopkins leave, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. To be honest with you, it's terrible because we couldn't do anything with DeAndre Hopkins. That's what sucks. And yeah, I like DeAndre Hopkins. I think he's a great player. I think he's great for the locker room. I think he's great with Kyler Murray. So yeah, it sucks. But if I'm looking at it on this side of the coin, where I'm really looking at the future for the Arizona Cardinals moving forward, we all know that this is the right thing to do. We all know it, right? Just like me and Hector right here saying the same thing. It sucks to see him go, but draft capital will be really, really sweet, especially on draft night. Exactly. What's up, No F's giving another super chat coming his way. He says, can DeAndre decide to stay with the Cardinals and finish his contract if he doesn't like the team that he might get traded to? Or is he as good as gone? That's a good question. That's a very good question. I think this is going to determine how Jonathan Gannon and the coaching staff sees DeAndre Hopkins fitting in this new offense, right? With Petzing, right? With Drew Petzing. So this is going to be, that's a very interesting question. Here's the way that I would put this. If DeAndre Hopkins came to me and says he wants to get traded, and then I gave him the names, right? The names are, here's the people that want to trade for you. And he tries to come back and say, no, I don't want any of those teams. I'm going to write it out. I don't know. To me, I feel like he's as good as gone, right? Because DeAndre Hopkins technically doesn't have any say because of the voided no trade clause. I mean, the players know, right? This gets out. The players would know. Kyler Murray would know. People would know that he wanted to leave. Do you really want him to suit up in battle with you guys on Sundays, Thursdays, and Mondays? So I feel like it would be different in the locker room if he does decide to stay after this whole big hoopla, right? After these reports coming out here saying that he might get moved off of, right? Because even Ian Rapaport said that we might move him away in the next 10, 12 days. The moment that the new year starts in March 15th, we could see DeAndre Hopkins get moved off and shipped away. So to me, I feel like it's for the best for the locker room for him to be as good as gone. It sucks, but it's a harsh reality, right? It's the NFL. That's why I'm playing both sides of the coin. Yes, I do. It does suck that he's going to leave terribly because we couldn't do anything with him. One of the best wide receivers, right? One of the best wide receivers in the NFL modern day, hands down. And we couldn't do anything, and it sucks. But realistically, where we're at right now, if we try to get some draft capital, trenches, cornerback, hey, I'm game. I'm game. But what I would honestly truly like is if the Arizona Cardinals had a plan. That's what I would want. Even if we got a bridge wide receiver heading into this next, because I still want to win games. I still want to, right? How are you going to try to sell this Arizona Cardinal, fan base this, right? I want to win games still next year. I know we're in rebuilding. Doesn't mean we got to be a one-win team next year. I want to see progression. I want to see us win and get better towards the end of the year. That's what I want. Just because we're in rebuilding doesn't mean we have to accept defeat that we're not going to win. No, expectations are still there to win, although maybe not a lot of wins, right? But I still do think that that's one thing I would want is the Arizona Cardinals to have a plan. Now, obviously, I can make my own plan, but it's going to be completely different than what they want. What's up, Hector? Appreciate the other contribution. He said JG has been there for more than 2 weeks and still hasn't talked to DeAndre Hopkins. That says all you need to know. Exactly. So this is the truth of the nature. I personally do think that DeAndre Hopkins is as good as gone. Right? And I know there's a lot of people that don't watch TikToks, and that's completely fine. I'm not trying to get you on the platform. That's completely fine. But there was a TikTok specifically where he was like, oh, I'm reading the script, right, of next year. And he goes out there and smiles, right? And then there was another TikTok that came out from Deshaun Watson talking about a new movie in 2023, but kind of hinting. Like, honestly, DeAndre Hopkins is already flirting out there that he's probably going to get traded away. And I made a video about this, like I said, one of the first people to talk about DeAndre Hopkins leaving, although people didn't want to believe it. 2 months ago, when I placed a video, there was a tweet put out there saying that DeAndre Hopkins was going to get traded out this offseason, and DeAndre Hopkins liked that tweet. Of course, he retracted it, and it's no longer there anymore, but it's as good as gone. Ladies and gentlemen, it's as good as gone. Is as good as gone. I think he's gone. I just hope that the Arizona Cardinals can get the value that we want as Cardinal fans. Now, please don't set your expectation to a first-round pick, although, yes, we all want a first-round pick, but I think realistically, we're probably looking at a second. Now, I'm saying a second, but I'm not just saying just a second. I want more, right? Even if you give me a fourth, even if you give me another second next year, even if you give me more, right? That's what I want. A second is where it starts. That's where the conversation starts, if I was the GM. A suitable suitor, obviously, right? A person that's really going to want to trade for him, because there's people calling. This last offseason, there's people calling for DeAndre Hopkins. And I did see somewhere in the chat, they ended up saying the New York Giants. Yes, I completely forgot. The New York Giants is also another team to kind of look out for too. They've struggled with getting a number one wide receiver. Daniel Jones has looked better of this last year. They're talking about giving him a big contract, or at least there's rumors and speculations saying that Daniel Jones is going to get paid like a quarterback should. Why not give him a number one wide receiver like DeAndre Hopkins? Big market. DeAndre Hopkins could completely benefit from playing in that market. Sponsorships, commercials, doing all these different things, because that sports market is 5 times or more than what we have here. That could benefit DeAndre Hopkins. He can make money without even have to play football because of all the sponsorships that happens if you go in a big market like New York. So yeah, I completely forgot about the New York Giants. Yeah. The Giants, another suitable spot for him. So we are in a situation right now here, ladies and gentlemen. We're in a situation right now that we're going to have to prepare ourselves. Prepare ourselves for a world that DeAndre Hopkins will no longer be here anymore. And I know it hurts. I've seen comments already. I've seen it. I've already seen the comments coming filtering in saying things like, Mike, you are crazy. Why would they trade DeAndre Hopkins? Why? Because it benefits the Cardinals and it benefits DeAndre Hopkins. That's why. And his age, his contract, that's why. Simple as that. You're wasting the potential of what DeAndre Hopkins can accomplish in his career. Teams or players aren't as loyal as y'all think they are. Although we're loyal to them, some of them, right? Although we're loyal to them, players aren't as loyal as they used to be. Larry Fitzgerald is probably one of the most loyal people out there. Larry Fitzgerald was one of the best wide receivers we had in the modern Arizona Cardinal time. One of the best wide receivers. What did his loyalty get him? Nothing. No Super Bowl. Made it to the Super Bowl, didn't win it. Made it to the NFC Conference Championship, got demolished. Loyalty doesn't get you very far, ladies and gentlemen. And it sucks to say, it's a sucky reality, but it's the truth. Players aren't as loyal as you think they are. DeAndre Hopkins is going to get traded. It's what's going to happen. It benefits. It's the truth. Now, if we do make it to the playoffs by some sort of a miracle of a chance, which I'm not going to put expectations of playoffs because we couldn't even win a playoff game one of these last 4 years. So I understand a year might take, but like I said, I still want to win games. I'm not trying to lay down, right, belly out, let myself get walked all over. No, I'm not that type of fan. I still want to win games. But if we get rid of DeAndre Hopkins and still make a playoff push, I say the Arizona Cardinals made a great decision. A great decision because the new era, the new direction that we're going into is build from the draft, build those trenches up, and let's do this right. Let's get this organization into a right state of mind. And that is getting these players to do what they do best. Not pigeonholing them to do what their coach tells them to do, is actually making them having their abilities to do it, right? That's what Jonathan Gannon has preached. That's what Nick Rallies has preached. That's what Drew Petzing has preached. The fact that that's going to be the new movement for the Arizona Cardinals. So we're here. We're here. People seem to forget that players get paid for this game. We don't get paid to watch it. We get paid because the love of and the loyalty of our teams and the love of football. That's why we watch. Players get paid for this game. They get paid to put on that Arizona Cardinal uniform. There's not very many Larry Fitzgeralds out there anymore, ladies and gentlemen. There's not very many out there that is as loyal as he was. It didn't get him anything. So here we are, right? Talked about value, talked about potential suitors for DeAndre Hopkins. He's gone. He's gone. And that's not even to mention the fact that DeAndre Hopkins unfollowed the Arizona Cardinals on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. Unfollowed the Arizona Cardinals on Instagram. Come on. What? And I get it. It's Instagram. It's social media. And for the older people that are in the chat right now that are like, oh, it's social media. Y'all, that's the new age. Cryptic tweets, unfollowing, scrubbing of your Instagram, Mr. Kyler Murray. This is the new way of them speaking. because they know they got a following. They know that at least 1 or 2 people out of your million followers are going to notice that you unfollowed the Arizona Cardinals, and that he did. So, he's as good as gone in my eyes. Contending team or wherever the Arizona Cardinals chooses to move him. So whoever bought a DeAndre Hopkins jersey, sorry. It was a nice run, although we didn't accomplish anything. But there is a reason why Just Sports at Westgate had a rack of DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray jerseys on sale. There was a reason for it. And I asked the guy, I was like, what do you guys know? Well, what's happening here? Well, why is it? And he told me, oh, it's because we have new jerseys coming in here. So we want to get rid of these. But the only jerseys that were there were Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. Tell me they didn't know something that they don't want to tell us. DeAndre Hopkins is gone. He's as good as gone. And if he's not, I will be shocked. I would be shocked. I would be shocked if he's not. I'm cool. If he's cool, yeah. Let's do it. Let's try to run it. Right. Let's try to run it. But I would be shocked if he doesn't get traded away. I think Ian Rapaport said that he thinks by the end of this NFL year, right? The new year that starts, which is going to be March 15th, obviously this month. It's happening, in about 2 weeks? Less than 2 weeks? He thinks that it might happen before that. So we'll see. I think he's gone. I think he's gone. Let's get to the chat here real quick. What's up? Jay says you're lining up as a receiver. No. I'm not getting paid for that. I just get paid to talk and criticize. That's all I do. I'm a fan. That's more than anything. And I know darn well that these guys put their heart and soul, and they are NFL players, right? They are who they are because of all the hard work that they put in there. Definitely not going to discredit saying some average Joe is going to go up there and line up, right, in an NFL game. No, they do great stuff, and that's why they're at where they're at right now. But yeah. Somebody in chat says, should have gotten a Buda Baker jersey. Yeah, I agree. Buda seems loyal. But guys, let's not. Buda's great. Buda's fantastic. I just don't know what's gonna happen. Noevsky, what's up, man? He says my heart hurts. Well, you're not alone. You're not alone at all. And here's the thing. It's okay to feel sad, but also realize that it's the best for the organization and best for the team. It's okay. It's fine. That's how I feel. It sucks. I'm glad I didn't buy a DeAndre Hopkins jersey. I just got 2 Kyler Murray jerseys. I got a Chandler Jones jersey that I can't use anymore. I got Kyler Murray jerseys. I got a Rosen jersey, for God's sakes, that I use as a Buda Baker / Fire Kime jersey / Palmer jersey, because I can't be caught seen, with the freaking Rosen jersey, because I was an idiot and gotta try to support my dang quarterback when we first got him. Chandler Jones, I got what's this? Matthew Honey Badger. Can't wear that anymore. So I kind of tamed myself to stop getting as aggressive with these jerseys, but I got a little crazy with Kyler. I'm not gonna lie to you. So what I did was my Rosen jersey. That was my Fire Kime jersey. So I made sure that I actually put, some duct tape right there and made Fire Kime jersey. And I went to the State Farm Stadium, my last game of this last season. And a lot of security guards actually had a big kick out of it, because they were like, oh, that's a really cool jersey. So it was the number 3, but I put a sticker over it and it said Fire Kime. So I'm probably going to use that as my Buda. I'll put another sticker, put Buda Baker on it, because I'm not trying to buy another jersey these days. What's up, Hector? Another contribution. Give a shout out to Hector, and as well as my guy Noev Skivens with the contributions. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so very much for super chatting in. He says, do the Cardinals pick up a 5th-year option or do the Cardinals pick up 5th-year option or traded? Are you talking about for, I guess, let me think of who is, what would it be, like Isaiah Simmons? Or you're talking about maybe what specific Oh, for Simmons. Okay, you right under it. Thank you. For Simmons. Um, I feel like it would be beneficial for them to do the 5th year option. Personally, I think it's really beneficial for the Cardinals to do the 5th year option for him because although a superstar he's not, I still think he's a really good player. And I want to see what he can do with a new defense, right? With a defensive minded head coach. I still want to see what he can become because there's a lot of teams that wanted Isaiah Simmons and was chopping at the bit to bring him into their defense. So I believe that they should get the 5th year option. Don't trade him. Like it would only hurt us. The 5th year option is nowhere near right in a contract extension. But if you can prove it, re-sign him. You know what I mean? I think 5th year option is a smarter choice because I still think there's a lot of untapped potential with Simmons. I think there's a lot of untapped potential with Simmons. I don't think he's a superstar. I don't think he's Micah Parsons, but you never know, right? You never know. You never know. Let's take a look at the chat. We have somebody saying hopefully new DC can put him in the match. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. And that's sucky, right? Like that we're talking about Isaiah Simmons as potential, right? Like that sucks because if he was probably drafted in another team, we probably would be hearing great stuff from Isaiah Simmons. It's just who we are. It's who we are as an organization. We're still talking about potential for Isaiah Simmons. We're still talking about a potential for Zaven Collins. That's how bad it is. And when I was upset that we drafted, Zaven Collins, people called me negative. People called me, oh, you don't want to support anything the Cardinals do. It's not that. It's just I was looking for a bona fide superstar, and we didn't get that. We're writing potential all the time. It's what it is. I think they can be good, right? I think they can be very good people. And I want to see what they can do as well with the new defense as well, because you never know. New scheme, new coaches, they could definitely coach them up. So we have a linebackers coach that's our defensive coordinator in rallies. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do there. Somebody in the chat said, I never liked Zaven. It's not that I didn't like Zaven as a person or as a player. I feared that we were going to get the same situation, right? That's what I feared, that we were just going to miss a year. And that's exactly what happened. It just didn't benefit. It didn't benefit the Cardinals. Is AZ getting Wentz? I don't think they are. I personally don't. To be honest with you, now that I'm hearing a lot of this Kyler Murray chatter, I think Kyler Murray is going to surprise people. Truthfully, I think Kyler Murray is actually going to surprise people. I think he's actually very motivated to try to get ready for the beginning of the season. Now, he probably won't be ready, but I think he's going to be back sooner than people think. Some people are thinking that he's going to be missing half the year. I don't think so. Even if it is October and he misses 3 games, the beginning of October, he comes back, right? I think Kyler will be back sooner than we think. So we'll see. We'll see. That's a good question. I'm just speculating. I'm just talking. Let's see here. Never heard of until we drafted him. That's kind of how a lot of people felt. A lot of people felt that way. And I made a video about it before, right? I made a video about the whole situation about Zaven Collins. If no top cornerback was there, no top wide receiver was there, then they were going to get Zaven Collins, and people called me crazy, and they got him. Now, I wasn't excited that we got him, but that was what the rumors were saying out there, that Zaven Collins was going to be the guy if those things were kind of to fall, the way that it did. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's keep it with the chat here. Zaven is working out. I think Zaven is still. I think if you ask a very positive Arizona Cardinal fan, they would say that Zaven is working out. I think he is working out. I'll put myself as a positive Cardinal fan, at least this year coming in. But I still do think that he's potential. I don't think he's great, but I also don't think he's bad either. I think he's good, right? And I think he could be better. And that's what we're looking for as well. So, TBD. Somebody said, let's talk Gardner Minshew now. Now, since you keep skipping over him in the past videos, here's the thing. To me, Gardner Minshew doesn't have anything that I can't get from a Jacoby Brissett. And I appreciate you coming back. And I remember asking you, and I didn't get a chance to see the response. And the biggest reason why is YouTube is very bad at notifications. Is bad at notifications. I'm not sure if you guys know. So this is the best time to ask any questions. I have nothing against Gardner Minshew, but I don't get the hype. Like I don't understand the hype that people are really feeding into it. If we bring him in, we bring him in. Cool. I mean, it is what it is. But I don't know. Like, I feel like Jacoby Brissett might be a little bit better for the Arizona Cardinals because of Drew Petzing. I know people like the mustache, from not just the mustache, but the way he plays, and it's similar, right? It's similar to a Kyler Murray than a Jacoby Brissett would be, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not as high as people are with Minshew, to be honest with you. There's a lot of hype around him right now, and I'm not there. I'm not I'm not there, to be honest with you. Um, Zaven's pretty decent, Mike, linebacker, but that's not really what we need. We need Freeman, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, Anthony, great call out. To be honest with you, this is no knock on Zaven. I think Zaven can be good, right? I think good he can be, but to me, I guess it's an issue with myself because a first round pick, I want them to be a superstar, and I think that's the problem, right? I want them to be a superstar, and we don't have that. So when I'm talking about great, good, or you suck, or you're a bust, I put Zaven as good, right? He's not great. He's not a superstar, but like that, when I'm thinking of first round pick, that's what I want. I want a superstar. That's what I'm looking for. So, and it's probably my own expectations, right? I put a bar way too darn high, and that is on me. But he's good. He's good. But I mean, I'm looking for that next level. That's what I'm looking for. Zaven is a big hitter. No, that he is. That he is. Let's see. You think we can get Stetson Bennett? Oh, Stetson Bennett. I like the idea of either Stetson Bennett or Clayton Tune. I don't know what it is about Clayton Tune. And people told me, like, what do you like about Clayton Tune? I don't even know. I like his stats. I like the fact that he's a prototypical quarterback that had a pretty good stat year. That's what I like about Clayton Tune. And when I seen him play, I liked it. I thought he actually looked pretty darn good, right? I actually think he looked pretty darn good. Stetson Bennett would also be another player that I would like the Cardinals to possibly pull the trigger on. That would be great. He's got 2 national championships, ladies and gentlemen. There's so many people overlooking him. A lot of people overlooking him. Played for Georgia. Now, granted, yes, that defense was great. Yes, I 100% agree with you there. But that might be a guy that a lot of people are overlooking. Stetson Bennett. Ooh, I want to get quarterback this year. Ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, in the later rounds, I would love the Arizona Cardinals to get a quarterback in the later rounds. Why? To protect ourselves. That's why. What's up, Hector? He says, if we get Minshew, you got to do the mustache. I will do it. Maybe not the handlebars because my wife would kill me, but I'll put the mustache back. If we get Gardner Minshew, I'll do that. Bet. I'll do it. If we get Gardner Minshew, I'll do the mustache. Not the handlebars, because like I said, my wife will kill me, but I'll do the mustache again. I'll put that. All right, well, let's see what Z says. He says Gardner has had success with a terrible team. His time in Jacksonville, Gardner also shown leadership in motivating his team. Motivation is what AZ. No, and I agree with you there. But here's the thing, though. Like, we're talking Minshew as though he's going to be the next bridge quarterback, right? We don't need Minshew that bad. We don't Kyler Murray. I truly feel like what we're seeing Kyler Murray do, and with what Michael Bidwell's saying, right? And what we're seeing Kyler Murray doing with the bicycle already, with him getting a surgery, I think Kyler Murray is going to come back sooner than we think. So I see the positives and where we can go that route. It's just, I don't know. I'm not that high on him. But like I said, if we do get him, mustache will come back. Let's see here. Got somebody in the chat says no more guys with character problems. Yeah, I mean, hope so. I think that's the expectation, right? Didn't Bennett get into trouble? That's a great question. I don't know. Does anybody know about that? I don't. Oh, yes, actually he did. Got arrested during the scouting combine. Okay, well, let me look into that because I did not see this for public intoxication. Oh, okay. Well, I only glanced it, so yes, I guess he did get in trouble. I didn't see this until you let me know, so I appreciate you letting me know about that. But it looks like, yeah, public intoxication is um what he got in trouble for. How old is this kid? 25. Yeah, 25 is young. 25 is young. No, I don't think I'll look into it. I don't want to read this article while I'm on live right now, but I'll definitely do my due diligence here to see if I can kind of read into it. What I glanced at, it looks like it was public intoxication, which means like you're drunk, but you're like walking and being very, very rambunctious. That's what it looks like. Put yourself at 25 years old. And if you're from Phoenix, Arizona, if you're in Tempe, in Mill Avenue, put yourself in the shoes. Now, I'm not saying it's an excuse, right? I have never been in trouble for public intoxication myself, but I know a lot of people that have been doing really dumb things in Mill Avenue, in Tempe, when they were in their mid 20s, right? Early mid 20s. I've seen a lot of dumb things. So, now, a football player should know better. That I do agree with. I'll look into it a little bit more because, like I said, I don't want to read an article while I'm on live. Spencer reminds me of, oh, sheesh. Well, we definitely don't want that. We definitely don't want that. Let's see. Let's keep it with the chat here. Agree. We still have Larry and Kurt. Now we have a serious problem with our image in the media. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you want to fix that image? Win. That's it. It's not a. It's not a. It's not rocket science, right? I know a lot of not Cardinal fans, but there's some fans out there that are like, oh, we want to fix our image. Okay, I mean, just win. That's what you need to do. You want to put yourself back into the situation where you're a good organization. Win. That's all you got to do. Win. That's it. We're not a good organization. We're at least consistently not a good organization. So, and I mean wins. That's what I mean. In terms of being a winning organization, that's not us consistently. We're not there. We're let's rebuild for 3 or 4 years. Let's get good in 1 or 2 years, then we rebuild again. We're trying to go for consistency, right? We're trying to be a good team forever. And I hope Kyler Murray's the guy. So we'll see. Let's see here. Stetson Bennett was also arrested while in Georgia. Oh, sheesh. Okay, well, yeah, let me look in that. Alex says, "Oh, yes, Mill Avenue, good times." Exactly, Alex. Me and you, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. So, like, Mill Avenue. If you guys don't know, if nobody's from Phoenix, Arizona, in Tempe, it's a city basically next to the metropolitan area of Phoenix, Arizona. There is a place called Tempe, which is where ASU is at, and Mill Avenue is where all the college kids hang out. Where the clubs are, the bars are, the tacos, everything, the food, everything your hearts can desire there. That's where Mill Avenue is. Hopefully that paints a picture. And like I said, I haven't been arrested, but I'm not going to lie to you. In my mid 20s to early 20s, I've done some crazy things. Let's see here. Exactly. All right, let's see here. We got somebody in the chat says Majay is going to be our next good edge rusher. Him and Zach Allen here. Well, we still need to find out if Zach Allen is coming back and Byron's coming back. We did hear the fact that Gannon is fully aware, as well as Monty Osenfort is fully aware of the situation that we're in right now, because most Cardinal fans want two people back. Byron Murphy and Zach Allen. Those are the people we want back. That's it. I mean, we can bring other people. Like Greg Dortch. I would want him back. It's not a make or break. Although, yes, I would love him back, but it's not a make or break for me. Zach Allen and Byron Murphy are those guys. They're aware of it. I'm assuming negotiations are going to happen at this very moment. I'm not sure if it's going to be before free agency. Well, actually, you want to do it before free agency. That's for sure, because they're unrestricted. So you want to do it before so maybe within the next, less than 2 weeks, we'll hear something. Maybe within the next under 2 weeks, we'll hear something. So at this very moment, TBD. Somebody's in the chat says Will Anderson is our guy. We need to figure out what the Chicago Bears are going to do. I love Will Anderson too. I do. Jalen Carter, I still think will go. because of the weird the way that it happened, I thought it was actually going to be a lot worse in terms of more jail time. But with what was reported, he turned himself in, and in a few hours later, he posted bond and he went back into the combine. Now that's really weird. Can he still be top 10 prospect? Probably. Can he still go number 1 overall? Probably. Right. We'll see. We'll see. What's up, Z? I'm intrigued with trading back in the draft so we can get Joey Porter Jr. That sounds nice, honestly. I still don't want to get rid of the idea of getting Will Anderson. I still don't want to get rid of that idea. I get you can only have a certain amount of players, right, on the field at all times. And a lot of people are very high on Cam Thomas and Majay. People aren't talking about Victor Dimikichi at all very much, but he seemed to be very decent, right? I don't know. Will Anderson just seems to be just that next level that we need. That's what I'm talking about. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Someone in the chat says, I wish I lived in Phoenix. Somebody also in the chat says something about Glendale. Glendale is where I live is crazy AF. Glendale's got its spots, and I'm not trying to bag on anybody yet, but yeah, Glendale's got its spots. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Glendale's got its spots. We'll leave it at that. I like Carter so much for the talent, but the legal issue is what exactly. And I think I just saw an article saying that there was already character issues with him before this happened. So this doesn't help, right? This doesn't help. And I do think that the Arizona Cardinals are one of those organizations that care about the image. They care about the suit and tie. They care about the button it up to the top, right? I think the Cardinals are that organization. So maybe they won't go Jalen Carter after all. If they go him, I would still be happy. I would still get Jalen Carter, but there's a lot of risk that goes along with that, right? They need to figure out what's going to happen with this because although, yes, he posted bail, it's not over. It's not over yet. So we'll see. We'll see. Something just says Glendale's really. I think you're thinking of Paradise Valley, my dude. I think you're thinking of. That's what I'm saying. Glendale's got its spots. It's got some really nice spots in Glendale, but I think you're thinking of a Paradise Valley or Scottsdale. To be honest with you, I think you're thinking of Scottsdale or Paradise Valley with your comment there. We need Will Anderson. He could be good. I think he'd be better. Honestly, Will Anderson is being compared. Somebody like put him next to Khalil Mack, like his stats, or his dimensions. I guess what's the word? I guess dimensions. And like it's crazy how big this dude is and how disruptive this guy is. And a lot of people are saying a lot of good things about Will Anderson. His personality seems to be infectious, which is great. You want somebody like that, right? Somebody like a Mikal Bridges from the Suns. Like, and it sucks that we lost them. And I think that's what really hurt. Like, yes, we got KD, but people were so sad about losing Mikal Bridges. I think people are not comparing them, but like I think of the same way with whenever I hear of your personality is infectious, I think of Mikal Bridges. Like, people want to love you because you're so darn awesome. And I feel the same way for Will Anderson. At least that's the way that people were talking about him, right? So, Will Anderson can be good. Could be great for the locker room. So I'm excited. I'm excited. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have hit the hour mark. Now, I do want to host for the 80 people that are here, I want to host a open panel. I want to get maybe 8 to 7 people in here where we're just kind of having an open forum where we're talking about everything, right? And I'm talking about you guys host it. I'm just going to be here, just chilling, listening to you guys. I want to host something like that. So if you guys are interested in doing something like that, ladies and gentlemen, let me know. It's probably going to be like a 45-minute show, maybe an hour show, or depending on how long, because there's a lot of things to talk about. So if you guys are interested, and if there's nobody here in the live chat, and you're watching this on a playback, let me know in the comments if you're interested in being involved in something like that. I'm looking for 7 to 8 to 10 people to jump on here and doing sort of a roundtable where we'll tackle the big topics, right? Your Kyler Murray, your what should we do, free agency, how do you like the new head coach, that type of stuff, right? What's the future for the Arizona Cardinals and what we're going to be looking at. So let me know if you guys are interested. Definitely let me know in the chat as well as the comments. Actually, the comments are a little better than the chat because it goes away. But yeah, I'm thinking about hosting something like that. I feel like that would be kind of cool to get a lot of people's anger. There's a lot of people that aren't happy with any of the offseason moves, and I understand where you're coming from, but we'll see. Let me get to my last contribution here of the day. What's up, Alex? I appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much. He says the NFLPA reported the cards with the Cardinals flunking overall. It has me worried it will affect the chances of attracting free agent. Our culture sucks enough. Honestly, you're not the only person that's mentioned this grading report to me. And I'll speak about it right now in terms of why I didn't make a video about it. And this is the reason why, because you're not the only person that's told. I have at least 3 or 4 other DMs about this. And not just that. And I'm talking about DMs on my social media. On the comments of my videos, people were like, oh, you're not going to talk about this, right? You're not going to talk about this. Why aren't you making a video about this? One of the biggest reasons why I'm not is because this is the very first time that I'm fully aware of this report coming out, right? So although, yes, this is bad. It is so bad. You don't want to be one of the bottom. I agree with you. It's just, I'm just so unfamiliar with this new thing that popped up and the Cardinals being at the very bottom of the totem pole. So I wanted to familiarize myself. And by the time I really looked into it, like I was already kind of like, okay, like, I mean, it is what it is. Right. It's crazy that there's no other facilities that charge their players like the Cardinals do for meals. Right. And if it's off season, they charge for like every meal. Like, it is crazy. I think it's a really, really weird situation. But one of the main reasons why I didn't make a video about it, because I'm not really familiar. This is the very first time I heard that we're starting to grade organizations with this type of stuff. But I agree with you. It's bad. The Cardinals need to fix it. Michael Bidwell needs to fix it. And I think Michael Bidwell actually had a response and he said, oh, as long as the players like it. But bruh, like if the NFLPA is coming out and grading you at the very bottom, it's a big deal. It's bad. But that's one of the main reasons why I didn't make a video about it. Yes, it's a big deal. And I'm not trying to sweep it under the rug. It's just, I'm not very familiar. It's the first time I've heard of this happening. So, yeah. But I appreciate the contribution, Alex. I completely 100% agree with you. This can very well affect any free agents, top tier free agents from coming in. But like I said, you want to fix the culture, you win. That's what you got to do. Ain't rocket science. You fix the culture, you win. And I hope Jonathan Gannon and the rest of the boys can go ahead and rally this culture up and get us back into a winning, consistently type of organization. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys for coming through. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart. Thanks so much for rocking with me. We are going to close shop here today. If you guys haven't already smacked the like button, please do so right now before you head out. Subscribe to the Arizona Sports Fan here on YouTube on the road to 12K, ladies and gentlemen. As always, have a great rest of your day. It's been a pleasure. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cards.